Oh, too tall. Too tall. Okay, but the microphone's working, so that's good. Better, no. Yep.
Hi there, it's Laura from Laura Womwell Photography, and today I am joined by Kinsey Winger of Kinsey Winger Photography for another episode of the Southwestern Ontario Pet Collective. Hi Kinsey, I'm so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here.
Kinsey and I promise today that we won't just geek out and talk about cameras the entire time. So Kinsey, I would love to know what got you interested in pet photography.
Well, I bought my first DSLR probably about 10 years ago, maybe getting close to that now. I had dogs of my own and I just wanted to capture photos of them. And then I became obsessed with it, as I'm sure you know what that's like, uh, and kept upgrading my gear and researching more how to do photography and how to get these cool images and techniques and things like that, and switching my lenses, and it just became an obsession and a passion.
I mean, if we're honest, pets are the absolute best photography subjects.
Oh, they are.
What do you love best about pet photography?
I just love meeting all the different dogs and cats and animals and their owners. They're also amazing, and like I've made some great connections over the years and maintained awesome relationships. In fact, one of my best friends now is somebody I met through my photography, and now like we have our own company together, and it's amazing. It's really cool.
Nice. So it's not just about the connection that you're making through the lens with the pet, it's about the connection that you're making with that owner too.
Right, for sure. I mean, I do love capturing beautiful images. Sometimes I surprise myself and I'm like, I did that? That's so amazing. Like, it's art. It's so cool. But yeah, I like every aspect of it. It's so wonderful.
Do you have any particular, whether it's a favorite breed or a favorite type of companion animal that you like to shoot?
Yeah, so I had a dog named Loki, and he was a Norwegian Elkhound, and I had him for 10 years, and he was just the most wonderful animal. Like, he had the most beautiful soul, and I lost him a few years ago, but that is my heart breed, Norwegian Elkhounds. They're just, I love them so much. I'll get one again one day. One day.
Amazing. So, for folks who haven't seen your work before, how would you describe your style?
Ooh, it's pretty bright. I like bright colors, and I do minimal editing, so it's very realistic, I guess. And I like to try to capture the dog's personality. I don't like I do pose photos as well, but I like to have them just do what they naturally would, and I will capture as they're kind of interacting and just doing their thing.
One of the things that I love best about your work is the light is always so magical, and just gorgeous, gorgeous pups outside in this beautiful light. How do you manage to schedule that? Is it first thing in the morning? Is it last thing at night?
Oh gosh, that's the trickiest part. For example, last weekend I had a couple who booked me for a shoot, and they wanted 11 in the morning, and that can be a tricky time because the light can be super harsh that time of the day. And it was a really bright sunny day, and I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Because usually I like sunset where it's not super harsh and you get that beautiful creamy light. But we went to a forest, and I lucked out and got this beautiful, colorful light background, and the photos just looked amazing.
Wonderful. So you mentioned that a lot of what you do in pet photography is also about interacting with the owners. So what is one of your favorite aspects of what do you like to help people best with within your business?
Um, I mean, like the ultimate goal is getting photos that they can always cherish and remember. 'Cause when I back to my dog Loki. When he turned 10, I booked a photo shoot for us, and I didn't know at the time, but he was sick. And after that, I always cherished those photos, and I was so grateful that I booked that shoot. So, I mean, I don't like, bringing up sad things like that with customers, but I do want to make sure that they achieve those nice photos that capture the dog's personality, so they can keep those forever and remember the dogs how they were, or the cats.
Yeah, especially I'd say if your pet is getting older, like maybe scheduling that shoot while they're still active and being
Yeah,
themselves.
that's the thing. A lot of people come to me when it's their pets are kind of in their last days, and it's hard because they don't want to remember them when they're weak and suffering. They want to remember them when they're young and healthy. So I always try to, you know, impress, or what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of push that on people. It's like when your dog is healthy and happy, you want to get those shots then.
Absolutely. So, uh, obviously, dealing with pets who may be palliative or may be elderly is a challenging part of pet photography. What are some other challenging things that you've found throughout your pet photography journey?
Ooh, well, I'm sure you know that they don't always listen. Sometimes hard to get their attention. I try to make I sound like a crazy person when I'm doing photos because I make all these shrill, high pitched animal noises to try to get that head tilt and the cuteness factor. But yeah, sometimes they don't care. They don't want to look at me. They just want to sniff the ground, and I just have to sit there and be patient and wait for that moment when they suddenly look up, and I'm like, ah.
I'm sure that the folks listening would love to hear some of those noises.
Oh my gosh, um, kind of like Cardi B. Oh,
Nice. I hear you. I sometimes forget when I have people in the shot with their animals and I'm making the crazy noises. I'm like, oh, what must they think?
I'm glad I'm not the only one that makes those noises then.
So, what is something that you wish folks knew about pet photography that the general public may not know?
Probably that it doesn't end when the session ends. There's so much more that goes into it. There's hours of editing and putting things together, and it's a lot of work.
I think something that surprises people is even when you have a really natural looking image, there's still so many little things that photographers are doing on the back end.
Oh, for sure.
So, what are some things that you do to like tidy up the images after you've shot them?
Yeah, I mostly, just touch on exposure and saturation and things like that. But I'll also go in and I'll sharpen their eyes or do something like that just to make it kind of pop a bit more.
Nice. Do you ever have folks who are worried that their pet may not be trained enough to do a pet photography session? And what would you say to those folks?
Yeah, I have a lot of people who are worried that, their dog is reactive toward people or other dogs, or they won't listen. They don't know how to sit, and that's fine. I always say that it's all about patience, and I don't put time limits on my sessions. So to make the customer feel comfortable and know that, however long it takes, we're going to get the shot. It takes a bit of time. The dog has to get used to me. It has to get used to, being outside with smells everywhere, and it's just about patience.
Nice. And letting them know that like leash removal in Photoshop is pet photography 101.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
There are a ton of folks who have brought new furry members into their families over the pandemic. And a lot of folks, I'm sure you can tell from social media feeds, have been taking pictures of their pets. Do you have any tips for pet parents who might want to take better pictures of their pets at home?
For sure. I mean, first of all, it's all about lighting, right? Like you have to get the nice light. So different times of the day are better for photos, different backgrounds are better, and also try different angles. Like don't always be up above your dog, get down to their level, take some that are, straight on with their face facing you. It's all about trying different things and experimenting.
And practice, just do it over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I think something that that really differs in pet photography to like fashion photography or human photography is just the volume of photos that we end up taking. You know, with an unpredictable subject, you have to just keep going and going.
Oh, I know. I did a really quick shoot last week. Somebody contacted me last minute. They're a foster mom, and their dog was going to the new home the next day. And she's like, "Is there any chance that you can just, come out and snap a couple photos of me and the dog so I have something to remember him by?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, for sure." It was maybe a 20-minute session, and I was like, "Oh, that was quick." Got back 400 photos. I'm like, how did that happen?
So you mentioned working with fosters. I know like every pet photographer that I have ever chatted with loves to give back to the animal community. So what are some of the pet organizations that you give your time to?
Mainly the KW and Stratford Humane Societies. I've been volunteering with them for probably 6 or 7 years now with photography. I haven't been able to in the last little while because of COVID, so they weren't allowing volunteers in the shelter. I'm hoping that things will change and I can get back there because I really miss it. But lately, I did a couple shoots for Tango's Lead rescue organization here in Kitchener.
Nice. And I know working with rescue is one of the most rewarding parts of pet photography. I mean, it's wonderful meeting owners and helping them with their pets, but helping a pet get adopted is just like,
oh, I know. And like going to the center every week and spending 2 or 3 hours with kittens and puppies, it's not the worst gig ever.
we do it for the cute models, right?
Oh yeah.
I would love to take a look at your work, so I'm just going to share my screen here. So I'd love for you to talk us through some of these images.
So this is Luna. She's a beautiful Canadian Eskimo dog. Oh, that's my dog, Diggs. That's Flint, one of my favorite models. He's my friend's Australian Shepherd. I think that's Willa. She has two. There's Willa and Aladar, and that's... Oh. Yeah, cool guys. Oh, that is Jax. He's a new puppy. Oh, that's one of the rescues from Tango's Lead, Aspen. Such a stunner. This is my boyfriend's dog.
Gorgeous light in that one.
Mm-hmm. This is my friend's dog, Rocky. He had a bunch of health issues. She adopted him. That was a workshop at the Canadian Raptor Conservancy.
Oh, wow.
His name is Bruce. We found a den of baby foxes, and I was so stoked.
Oh, goodness. Now, wildlife photography is a little bit different than pet photography as well. Did you find it more challenging or pretty much the same?
Yeah, because again, with the light, like it was a harsh, like I think we went around noon and it was just harsh sunlight day, and you can't direct where the wild animals go. So luckily I got some shots that were savable and I could edit them to look a little nicer.
Goodness.
Birds are one of my favorite things to photograph. I'm a bit of a bird nerd, so
I love this guy. He's so cute.
He's hilarious. He was just hanging out in my parents' driveway, and I spent like 2 hours photographing him.
How did you manage this shot?
So this was in Vancouver. Or no, sorry. We went to BC. My brother lives in Vancouver, and then we took a trip out to Kelowna. And we were driving down this road, and these two baby deers were just standing there, and my parents were driving, and I'm like, stop the car. So I got out with my camera because I take it everywhere with me, of course. And yeah, they were like, don't get too close.
Wow, that is
my zoom lens, so I didn't get close.
That is stunning.
at the Humane Society in Stratford. They got a whole new facility with beautiful enclosures for the pets, and it's a lovely place.
Nice. I know we're just waiting for the new Guelph facility to open.
I
And
heard.
I can't wait to see. They're so excited about their cat spaces. It's going
Oh,
to be amazing.
that's so awesome. This is my friend's Bengal. Her name is Lux, and she's quite a character.
Adorable. So I see throughout your work, like they're all really, light and airy and colorful, but you really manage to capture that animal's personality.
Aw.
Um, do you find that taking your time helps to get that sort of individual connection?
For sure. I find that the first few photos that I take, I rarely ever use. I find that later on in the shoot, the animal becomes more comfortable, and their owners become more comfortable, and everybody just kind of chills out and they're themselves. So I get nicer photos when they're not as, like, who is this? Why? What is that thing she's holding? It's scary. So yeah, definitely patience is is key.
Excellent. Um, any tips or tricks as far as I know all the time I have owners who are like, as soon as I pull out my phone, my animal freaks out and they go hide and they won't cooperate. I know what I use to encourage my pets, but I'd love to know some little tips and tricks just to get that animal to actually pay attention to their parent's cell phone.
For sure. I mean, it's funny because anytime, a lot of the time when I'm doing a shoot, someone will be like, "Oh, have you ever had, a difficult animal to photograph?" And I'm like, "My dog is the most difficult animal to photograph because as soon as I bring my camera out, his ears go flat. He makes this like face, and he's so cute all the time until my camera comes out, and then he's like, he's grumpy. So I have to find, interesting words that he likes and treats that he likes, and I have to get creative with it and like throw it in the air so his ears go up, and it's just all about finding what works for your dog, what noises, what buzzwords, what treats. It's just, trial and error.
Mm-hmm. And pulling those things out like right at the last minute when you're ready to shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
So, speaking of your dog, I would love to talk a little bit about you and your personal pets. So, I know that you have a rescue dog currently.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about him?
Oh, he's hilarious. He's the funniest little thing. He was on a Facebook page about 9 years ago, and he was in a kill shelter, and they were going to put him down if he didn't find an adopter within a week. And this rescue organization was trying to raise the funds to pull him. So I donated some of those funds. I was like, this poor thing, like he's so cute. And they got him. And then I couldn't get him out of my head. I was just like, he's too cute. Like I'm just thinking about him all day long. And he was in the States. So he was in, I think, originally North Carolina, and then the rescue that pulled him was in Pennsylvania. And I contacted them and I was like, look, I can't get him out of my head. Like, can I adopt him? And they, checked references and did the whole 9 yards, and they approved me, and I got to drive down to Buffalo and pick him up.
Wow.
And that was on Canada Day. So I'm always like, he became a Canadian citizen on Canada Day.
Oh, nice. So, what's his name? How old is he?
His name is Diggs. He's probably 9 or 10. I think he was about a year old when I got him. So he's probably 9 or 10 now. He's getting gray around his little snout. But yeah, he's hilarious. I love him.
Oh, nice. So, what are some of your favorite things to do with Diggs here in southwestern Ontario?
We love going for hikes. We go for hikes almost every weekend, finding new trails. He loves chasing squirrels. It's like his favorite thing. I'm pretty sure he has some terrier in him because he's a little hunter. But yeah, we do everything together. I take him to work with me. take him to friends' houses with me. He's like my little constant companion.
Excellent. Are there, I know whenever I'm going for hikes, I love to look for beautiful new spots for photo shoots. Any particular favorite spots that you like to go?
For photo shoots, I do like going to Huron Natural Area in Kitchener. I find it has a lot of different opportunities for various backdrops. Like there's a meadow with beautiful flowers in the summer, and then there's a boardwalk and a beautiful forest. So it's just nice to have those options. Yeah, I find cool places pretty much on every trail that I go. There's always something about each trail that's beautiful.
Exactly. I know I'm always encouraging folks, like if there's a walk that you go on with your dog all the time, that's maybe going to be the most meaningful place for you. Maybe not your backyard, but but those natural areas that you're always going to, they can be super special. And
oh, definitely. Yeah, I have a lot of happy memories with my old dog, and I frequent the trails that we would go to all the time. And I'm like, oh, I remember when we were here, and this happened or that happened. One time I got stung by bees.
Oh my goodness!
So I believe I mentioned I was a bird nerd, but I was on the Grand River Trail, and I spotted an osprey across the river, and I was like, I have to get closer. I have to get a photo of it. So I walked through the woods, and I guess I stepped on a bee's nest, and I didn't realize it. And I thought I had walked into like a thorny bush because I felt something pricking my legs. And I was like, what is that? What is it? And then I realized it was bees, and I just started running. I grabbed Loki. I was like, go, 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 get out of here. But I got stung like 15 times, and it was
were you all right?
I was okay. I was having a bit of a panic attack on the way home because I was like, what if I'm allergic? Oh my goodness. And I hadn't been stung since I was a young kid, and I don't remember it hurting that much. Like it felt like my muscles were seizing up later that day. Like it was not fun. I don't recommend it. Don't get stung by bees.
No. As pet photographers, because you're so focused on your subject, whether it's a bird or a cat or a dog, we often end up in like crazy circumstances, like being stung by multiple bees. Are there any like misadventures that you had?
That's probably the biggest one. Thankfully, I haven't had any. Whoop, dogs are running around. I haven't had too many injuries from photography, but I do get, I like to say, down and dirty when I'm doing shoots. I'm usually like sitting on the ground in the snow, or like I do the Surf Dogs event for the Humane Society every year, and I'm sitting in the pool taking photos, and I'm soaked by the end of the day.
Excellent. So if folks are thinking about pet photography and maybe they're on the fence, what would you say are like the best things to encourage someone to just take the plunge?
I think just having, moments captured for the rest of time. You'll always remember your dog, and you'll always have those beautiful images. It's just, I find it very important.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
Yeah.
And I think too, like, we especially now that we're spending a ton of time in our houses, it's become really apparent to me, like when I pass that picture of my dog on the wall, I'm like, I love them, and it's just like an instant pick me up.
Oh, for sure. I know. Yeah, our pets bring us so much joy. It's nice to just show them off.
Exactly. So I would love to end off with some quick fire questions for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I guess so.
All right. Cat or dog?
Oh, dog.
Favorite breed?
Norwegian Elkhound.
What is your pet's favorite treat?
Lay's chips. Can thank my mom for that one.
Is your pet full of beans, full of dreams, or full of something entirely different?
Ooh, I would say a little bit of both. He has his moments where he's crazy and acts like a young pup again, but he sleeps a lot.
If a human actor were to play your dog in a movie, who would it be?
Oh my goodness. Maybe Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, so distinguished.
Well, he has dark hair and he's a black dog, so I think that would fit.
Nice. If money were no object, what one incredible thing would you do to spoil your dog?
Ooh, I'd probably take him on a road trip. Go to all these different trails and eat all these delicious foods and get him some special dog treats.
Excellent. So to finish off, I would love to know, how can the Southwestern Ontario community best support you?
Oh, well, you could like my socials and participate in my posts and like and comment. That always helps. If you want to book a shoot, I'd be happy to oblige.
Excellent. I will post all of your details here in this interview so that folks can find you. And is there anything else that you would love to say to the folks who are listening?
Wow, just thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy my photos. I enjoy taking them and sharing them, and yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, Kinsey, it has been a pleasure chatting with you today. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been great.
And thank you all to all of you listening. This is Laura Wamwell with Laura Wamwell Photography. I'm here with Kinsey Winger of Kinsey Winger Photography, and we both hope that you and your pets have an awesome day. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was wonderful.
I'm always so nervous when I'm on camera. I'm like, oh, I'm going to say the wrong thing or stumble over my words.
I just recently took, like, right before I started this, I took like a taking videos for your social media course. It was actually decent, but it like just pushed me in the deep end and was like, hey, people care about video more than still images, apparently.
It's true, yeah. Where did you take that? What's it through?
The presenter is called Andrew Helmich. He's an Australian photographer, but he works with a ton of pet photographers, weirdly. And his business is called PhotoBizX. I can send you the link if you want. But it was good. It was like, I think it was 3 weeks, and you do a challenge every week. But a lot of what he talks about is like how to use video for your client interaction. So yeah, you do Instagram stories or you post a video on your timeline, but also he's like, when someone books, you're like, hi Kinsey, thank you for booking.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, definitely link me. I'd love to look into that.
Yeah, it was neat. So, and then I was like, well, I might as well just go whole hog and terrify myself.
Why not?
So what I'll do from here is I'll kind of clean up the video a bit. I might link the images differently just because the slideshow got going really quickly. Which one is Diggs, just so I can highlight him when you're talking about him?
He was the second photo. So he was the little black dog that was in the image. It's like a cityscape with the lights behind him.
Okay.
Like graffiti walls. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so I will highlight him there. And then what I've been normally doing is sometimes the videos are too big to share in advance, but if I can, I'll send that to you. And then I also do like a couple of teasers leading up.
Yeah.
So I'll send those to you in advance as well. I have you set to run March the 30th. So
what is it? What do you share it on?
So a few different things. I have the private Facebook group, which is mostly just people posting pictures of their pets and then being like, I want to ask a groomer this. I want to ask a trainer this. Yeah. I don't know if we're Facebook friends, so I don't know if I have invited you, but maybe I will Facebook friend you and then invite you to that group. I'm hoping for more, like right now it's a lot of pet parents, and I'm hoping for more pet business owners to join as well. So I share it there. I share it on Instagram, and then I also have a website that's linked to the YouTube channel, and everything gets, like, the full content gets shared on YouTube and on the blog. So it's still growing. It's still small, but
I think you're doing an amazing job. It's such a cool idea.
Yeah. Well, I figured, like, it's been such a weird year where everyone wants to connect but can't. And I was like, especially like in the dog owners of KW or the Dogs of Guelph group, there's a lot of people asking questions over and over again. And I was like, why not put some faces to names and, like, try and have people interact?
I think that's a very important part, that there's a face behind the business, because like with Low Key, the company that Melissa and I have, the dog tag one, anytime we post a photo of us and we're like, this is us, people are like, oh, it's so nice to finally know who you are, and they really respond to it. So yeah, it's definitely important.
Well, especially with the focus on shopping local and supporting people in your community, I figured, why not try it? Yeah. And I think too, like, there are so many small pet businesses that exist in our community that the more we can all lift each other up and support each other, the better it is for everyone.
Yeah, especially now, because COVID has forced people to get hobbies and have little side hustles. So it's awesome. So many people are being more creative and creating cool dog things, and I think it's great.
Too. I know. Kipper has, like, an entire wardrobe, and I'm like, Chihuahua, you don't need more clothes. But then there's so much cute stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nick has, like, infinite amounts of bandanas, and I just bought him this brand new winter coat from a lady in England who has this new company, and it's a beautiful coat, but it came, like, last week, and now it's like, oh, well, he doesn't need it. So next year, hopefully he doesn't gain too much weight.
Yeah, I had to scale back when I first got really into, like, pet Instagram. It was
I know. It's a wormhole. Nothing get lost.
Awesome. Cool. So I will send you everything I can. And then if you have any questions, send me an email or send me a message. The one thing, if you want, is if there's a picture of you and Diggs or of you and Loki, or both, if you want to send those to me, because when you're talking about Loki, I would love to have a picture of him or a picture of him and you that I can share as well.
For sure. Yeah, I have a ton of me and Diggs and me and Loki, so I'll put them in that gallery and relink the gallery to you, and then you can get them that way.
Perfect. That would be awesome.
Yay.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for chatting, and nice to, like, see you face to face.
I know. It's so great. Like, I follow your stuff and I like all your stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's you.
Nice. Well, when COVID isn't a thing, we'll have to have some kind of meetup.
Oh yeah, that would be so fun.
Excellent. Cool. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be in touch soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.